Thank you very much for asking what happens next when you sign up. So let me give you a bit of a deep dive. We don't just leave you with a load of data. Whilst you will have access to all the data we have and we explain it, why it is that we look through 10,000 securities like this and we want all of these to be green. And you can see why you reject out of 10,000, 9,800 securities. So we walk you through all of this. So you've got the same data as us. Though most people, if you think of this like a recipe and the ingredients, most people don't want to make their own cakes. So what we also do, as well as hand-holding you, explaining everything through unlimited access to me, and then hopefully also meeting up, because we do meetups with clients as well regularly, is give you a deep understanding of why you might choose to hold certain securities. But you might say, well, wait a minute. Okay, I'm holding security, but what's suitable for me, Alpesh? So we go into a deep dive based on age, outlook, risk capacity, and we actually make some cakes for you. Let's put it that way. So not just give you the ingredients and recipe, we give you some examples, and we update things regularly, but you're actually going to be holding a portfolio for at least a year, because we're not trading. You do not want to be trading. And by the way, if you're wondering, well, wait a minute, where did you get all this from? Why do you get, what makes you think, Alpesh, that undervalued companies do lead ones, or growing companies do better than ones which aren't growing, or ones generating a lot of cash flow or lots of momentum? Where did you get all this from? And so we have an online education course, which you don't have to do, but it's in case you want to dive deeper into the literature. So Goldman Sachs Wealth Management use Croaky, so we use it. The value growth income comes from Nobel Prize winners Eugene Fama, Daniel Kahneman, Richard Thaler, and their work. The Sortino and momentum aspects come from the work, I'd say, William Sharp, again, Nobel Prize winner on that. So we made sure everything was detailed in my Financial Times columns and then published in my books. And then we started using it in a practical basis, first in the hedge fund and then on this. And you can see, if you go to alpeshpatel.com/shares, you can see, performances. But you've got to be careful about performances, because we show you, say, January to December, but if it was February to February, it might be more or less, or March to March, or April to April. Also, those might not be securities you would have wanted. You might have said, well, I want something with less volatility or more risk, for instance. People sometimes get confused with, well, not confused, but they sort of sometimes think, oh, that's a portfolio, I must copy Alpesh or only do this. No, because I have different risk appetites. So when we created the model portfolios, and that's the next step you'd go to, when you sign up, you'd have the onboarding call with me. Okay, you have what's called a pre-onboarding with Paresh. That's just to make sure you got access to everything, the more technical stuff. Although he's co-authored books with me, he was a floor trader on the London International Financial Futures Exchange, and he knows just as much as I do. But what happens is, we've got quite a large team who puts all this data together for us, is you'll have the onboarding call with me, and I'll explain things with you, and then you'll have follow-up calls. And the point with it is this: the call to action, the point we get you to, is we give you a little checklist to make sure you don't have to remember anything. You just go through the checklist, you go, right, okay. And then we'll see that checklist, and we'll see a model portfolio that is made up of what suits your risk capacity. Then I will go through that and say, well, actually, you said your risk appetite is this, but these are the outcomes. I'll explain it to you, and then we might tweak it, and we'll get version 1, version 2, version 3, and then you look at version 3, let's say, and you'll go, wow, I know why I own these companies. I know why I should hold them. I know what the returns historically were, which, even though they can't be guaranteed in the future, well, okay, that would mean I double my money in 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. We don't ever want something which historically hasn't doubled our money in 3 years. Okay, that doesn't mean it'll do it in the next 3, but what it means is, if it does half as well as it's done previously, it'll at least double it in 5. So I'll give you an example. If I've got 300,000, then worst case in 5 years, and there's no guarantee of the future, that should become 600,000. Then in 10, it becomes 1.2 million. And in 15, that becomes 2.4 million. Okay. If we just get doubling in 5 years, which is 15% per annum, which is actually the long-term 15, 16 years. So we want to be doing better than that. So we leave a lot of buffer. So we say worst case, we should be just matching. But actually we expect, with the kinds of cherry picking of the companies we're looking at. Then there comes the aspect of, and we have online tools to work this out, is, well, wait a minute, how much money will you need in retirement? So there's little calculators you can use to work that out. And how much should you keep as a cash buffer? Okay, because you don't necessarily want to be all fully invested. And what about markets having a downturn? Should we be ever going into cash like we did in 2022? Yes, but rare times. Most times you have stocks which are very resilient to avoid having to go into cash. And then if we've got all of that, what about watching it? Do we watch it every day, every week? No, we rebalance it once a year. Okay. Well, what if a company does incredibly well in that year? What if it does incredibly poorly in that year? So we make sure we've got a little flow chart for each of those. So you don't have to worry. The whole point of it is the ability to sleep easy and say, I know why I own these. I know why they're good companies. I've got all the data. I can explain it to my wife or husband or child or parents and why these are held, because I have to explain it to mine. And I know, right, if we get a wobble because of Trump or something, we're not gambling on news or narratives or trading. We're picking resilient companies whose board of directors' job it is to keep making profits. And it's for them to navigate the world of the Middle East and everything else, not for us. And that's how it works out. And I'll just show you a sample of a model. So let's say as an end result, this is a model that you selected with the individual stocks within it. Now, this is how it did historically. And history is not a guarantee of the future, okay? And this was done for a client. And we always include 2022 in our historical looks because that stress tests when the S&P 500 fell recently. There's no point looking at what happened in 1945. And when it fell 25%. Okay, now we have UK stocks, US, European, Indian, Chinese, all of these, which can be in a SIP or ISA. That's not the point. It just so happens we look at the S&P because when it fell that badly, the whole world fell. Okay, so it wasn't as if, oh, well, we could have just bought some Chinese companies and be fine. No, everything fell. So we want to stress test it through that. And we look at this and we say, well, what's historically been the worst case? The worst case was the drawdown of 9.1%, peak to trough. So, 100,000 became, and we try to match that with the risk capacity of the client. Now, the annualized return you see there, that I don't actually care about. You might say, wow, it's amazing, because that can't be guaranteed in the future. The reason we look at that is we want to make sure that the companies we've picked and have in the recent past at least, and continue today to have good valuation, high growth, good dividend yields based on their P&L, their balance sheet, their cash flow statement. So we then say, well, if it does less than half as well as it did historically, including when the markets fell 25%, can we still double our money in 5 years as a worst case? So do you see how we're thinking? We're not trying to curve fit to history and say, well, it did well historically, so it must do in the future. No, this is the last thing we look at. What we're looking at is today's balance sheet, cash flow statement, P&L statement, and of course, any news flow and everything else. So that's it in a nutshell. Onboarding call with me. Access to the data, which most of the students don't look through, model portfolio, checklist, that's what they mostly focus on. Although all the education, they have access to all the education, though they don't do it. They really rely on the calls with me and any questions they have. And then they love it. If you look at alpeshpatelreviews.com, you'll see a bit of that. Now, can I promise doubling money in 3 years? No. Can I promise it in 5 years? No. Can't promise anything like that because, well, the world might end tomorrow. For a start. But what we're showing you transparently and empowering you with, and hopefully for kids to learn as well, is you've now got all the data, all the analysis, everything that I know, you know. We've got Nobel Prize winning literature behind it, and it's what I and my extended family also invest in, let alone institutionally as a hedge fund manager. It's what we think is the right way, and it's what I've written in my Financial Times columns is the right way to go. So there's that safety element. I'm feeding you only what I would eat myself and what I would feed my family. Okay, so there's that element to it as well. And if you said, well, how do I know that any of this works? Well, not only we've gone how it's done historically, have a look at alpeshpatel.com/shares, but also you've got, well, we're consuming it, but also you've got all the academic backing behind it on alpeshpatel.com/shares. So, if you said, well, how do I know that croaky cash return on capital invested results in good stocks? Well, we show you all the Goldman Sachs research. Well, how do I know that that's accurate? Well, there's 30 years of research and data which shows that that's a really important factor to have. So, there's a whole host of things to put. It's not actually about putting your mind at rest. If mine isn't at rest, then there's no point even starting with trying to put your mind at rest. So that's how we work. Thank you very much. Any questions, just let me know.